Okay. So I'm going to mix complementary colors, orange and purple. And I'm going to start by adding a little bit of purple to yellow, just bringing the color up very slowly, very incrementally, because a little bit goes a long way. There's different palette knives you can use. I like the angled one because it seems easier to scoop and get the paint off. Sometimes with the flat palette knife, it all globs on the bottom, which I find really annoying. And I'm going to keep it kind of simple. I'm not going to mix a whole lot of colors because I want to get into my painting. Okay, so then I'm going to take some of that and reserve that for my painting. Okay, it's getting a little browner. Now I'm going to bump it up quite a bit more. I'm going to add more purple. Okay, now a whole bunch of purple. Okay, so that's what I'm going to work with on my painting. And the painting I chose, I usually choose a woman. So today I thought I'm going to choose this guy. And before I get started, so what I did to glue this magazine image to the Bristol board is I coated the back with Mod Podge. You could also use Elmer's glue. And then I put on, it could be another sheet of paper. I like to use this deli paper, and then I just use my scraper to go across the top and remove all the bubbles to get a nice seal. Okay, so my painting, I'm going to begin with the largest shapes first, which are the background, his hair, and then going into his clothing, and then his face. Okay, so when blocking out large areas, I like to use a coarse bristle brush. And I'm going to outline, you're thinking cutout here. You have to ignore all the details like his jewelry and his beard hair. Okay. So this is a little bit see-through. When it dries, I'll come back and probably put another layer. Okay, now I'm going to go purple for his hair, but this purple is super dark. So I am going to add a little bit of white just so that it shows up more. And I'll probably go pure dark purple for the details of his necklace there.
Laura?
Yeah.
Why do you choose the bristle over the synthetic brush for blocking out large areas?
It just delivers a paint. I feel like I can scoop more in. It's not as fussy. The nylon brush feels more about refining things. If that makes sense. You know, you get a smoother mark. I mean, you can do either one. That's just where I begin. It's kind of no nonsense. I'm just trying to get the block in, the basic shapes. I don't care about it being refined from the get-go. Does that make sense?
Yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so I've lightened this purple up. And actually, I'm going to use a slightly narrower brush. I'm going to use a round now because and it's narrower, so I can get up close to that edge. And bear with me because from my perspective, I'm painting this upside down. Some of this is in shadow, so it's not super clearly outlined. I'm kind of making it up. Oh, he's looking kind of groovy there. Okay, and then a finer brush for mustache. Okay, now I'm going to go for the face, and that'll be probably that yellow. Or I could go that one actually. Let me see. So there's no really right or wrong here. You're just blocking out and exploring shapes. Okay. I'm gonna go with the darker one. Oh, I picked the wrong color. Shoot. Okay. Okay, so I'm using a nylon brush, and it's a round, and it's smoother, and that's because I've got a narrow space and I need to get in there and hopefully get the edges crisp. Okay. So working from larger spaces and shapes with larger brushes to then smaller. Okay. Now I'm going to come back and block that yellow in more because that paint has dried. So what should start emerging is like the basic elements, the underlying structures and shapes that are building this picture. Okay, now I'm going to go, let's see. What do I want to do here? Okay, so this neutral purple here on the darker side to kind of block and frame in the picture. And I'm using a angled brush. So look, I can get wide areas here with the flat edge, and then I can carve in using the top surface, the narrow edge to cut right in. That's kind of cool. All right. Let's see now. And I'm not using too much water. I'm putting it on pretty thickly, a little bit of water, not much. Okay, now. So another purpose of this is I'm blocking out my composition with a limited color palette. So usually when you start painting, you kind of pick your main, what's your dominant color, and then usually two others. And then you can build from there. Okay, so I actually want, the scarf is too close to this color here. So I'm going to change that. I can remember where the scarf was. Okay, there's the shirt. There's the scarf. Okay. Let me go darker. Now, I had in mind that I was going to paint over the jewelry, but maybe I'll leave it. Any opinion on that? Okay, I'm just doing it. I'm going dark purple. Let's just see what it does. And it's a little wet right now, so I could come back in later and refine that a little bit more. But I think what I really like about this is it's broken down into basic shapes. It's a good foundational structure if I wanted to build more details on. And I already get a feeling here of this man. Okay. That is it.